Zero. But then look at the benefit embedded in all of those platforms. Facebook. There are people making lots of money from Facebook. And every other Web 2 platform out there. If Web 2 platforms can give us or can pay us, how much more a Web 3.0 platform? Like I said, the Web 3.0 is what? The latest or the newest version of the internet. Now, when we say this is decentralized, what does it mean? It simply means what we are building is user-friendly. It simply means that this platform enables you and I as users of this platform to perform transaction anytime, anywhere. We have what? Total control of this platform. It is decentralized. There is no government body that will come and say, no, don't perform this transaction, don't do this, don't do it. No, it is decentralized. It simply means if you want to perform a transaction, you do not need the international admin, neither do you need the financial admin or the secretary or the CEO to validate that transaction. At the comfort of wherever you are, you can perform this transaction. Now, when we talk about mobility, I've been able to tell you that I've been able to define Web 3.0 and decentralized. Now, when we say mobility aspect of it, now let's look at this. What is mobility? Movement from one place to another. That was why I showed us the very first screen, the very first one that showed us what? The luggages, the car, the vehicle, and what? The aircraft. That is the mobility we are talking about. And this mobility in SWIFTtrip is then divided in two. We have what? The road transport and the air transport. The road transport and the air transport. We refer the air transport to as aviation. Then the road transport as e-taxi or e-hailing app. E-hailing business. Now, let me make us understand this. This business we are calling you to come on. This business we are calling you to come be part of. You will hear so many persons saying, sir, man, no, I don't want to do this. So long it has to do with online. Count me out. And you ask them, sir, man, why don't you want to do anything that has to do with online? They will tell you because they've lost money in the online space. Yes, every one of us in one way or the other, we've lost money in the online space. But then, like I keep saying, if we are being sincere to ourselves, we will know that those platforms we ventured into, they were not online businesses. They were what? Ponzi scheme. I stand to be quoted wrong. Or I stand to be corrected. I'll come again. The platforms we ventured into before now that failed us, majority, if not all of them, are what? Ponzi scheme. Those are businesses that will tell you, sir, ma, bring your 20,000 naira. In 24 hours, you will get double of that thing you're coming in with. Bring your 50,000 naira. In 72 hours, you will get double of that. And because of instant gratification, you will see us going to get that money to put into that platform. Maybe they paid you the first time. You say, it's working. It will work. And you will even go as far as borrowing money. You will go as far as borrowing money to what? Put the higher amount. Let's say 1 million naira. And it's always unfortunate that by the time you will go that length, that's where you hear them say, the business is no longer what? Functioning. They've run. They're no longer in existence. Those are the kind of businesses we've done before now. I myself have done, I think some years ago, I did one they call Chimor. That was 2019. That was the last Ponzi scheme I did. 2019. SWIFTtrip is not calling you to come. It's not a Ponzi scheme that tells you bring this and in so and so time you will get double of what. No, we are not robbing Peter to pay Paul. This is a mobility business. Look at it, sir. Look at it, man. You and I, we came to this life. We met transportation, true of us. And do you know that we will die? We will leave this life. Transportation will still be in existence, true of us. Just like our parents, our forefathers, they came to this life, they met transportation, and most of them are no longer in this life, but transportation what? Is still in existence. That simply tells you that we are not building a business that will last for 50 years. Neither are we building a business that will last for 100 years. We are building a lifetime business. A lifetime business. That is what we are building. Transportation business. If President Tinubu comes today and say, a liter of fuel today is 3,000 naira. The best you and I can do is to just shout, this man, that man, this man, this man. But guess what? Tomorrow you will see us at the nearest junction booking for what? Taxi. That's to tell you that this business we are doing is a business that what? Does not lack patronage. The business does not what? Lack patronage. So that is that, and I've been able to tell you, explain to you that mobility aspect. Now, when we're talking about commerce, what is commerce? Simple term, buying and selling. Buying and selling. Now, looking at it as well, we came to this life and we met commerce. That thing they are practicing at the marketplace, or in me, is commerce. Buying and selling. Buying and selling. Now, once this buying and selling is taken to the online platform, it is then considered as what? Electronic commerce. Is there any of us that don't do buying and selling here? It's either you are buying or you are selling. So, that is that. Let me see the slide. We want to quickly look at our core services. What are the services we are rendering? It is very important for every business personnel to know the kind of services the company or she is venturing into, they are rendering. What are the services they are rendering? It is very important because from that service you can then tell if the business is sustainable or not to an extent. Now, what are SWIFTtrip core services? Let's have them on the screen. Our core services, we have 5 major services. 5 major services. Number 1, the aviation. Number 2, the e-taxi. Number 3, the e-commerce. Number 4, the logistics. Then number 5, it's the hospitality. These are our 5 major services. And all of these will be built on what? Blockchain. 5 sophisticated what? Services. Now, I want to ask, of all of those services that was mentioned, is there anyone that is new to us? Sir, is there anyone that is new to you? Is there any of those services that is new to you? You've heard of them before, right? Thank you very much. Please, let me still have the slide. Let's look at this. Now, next slide. When we're talking about aviation, we have companies that are already, for the sake of those of us that maybe don't know what aviation business is all about. Look at it. We have companies that are already into the aviation business. We have the likes of Airpeace, Eric, ValueJet, Emirates. All of these are companies that are into the aviation business. It tells you that what we are doing is not new. It's not new. If we look at the next one, which is the e-taxi, we have the likes of what? Uber, we have Bolt, we have InDrive, we have Enviable Transport. All of these are e-hailing platforms. These are giants in the business of what? E-taxi. In the e-taxi business, Uber, Bolt, InDrive. These are giants in that market space. At the comfort of wherever you are, you can just sit, you can stand in the church, anywhere to book a ride. And they will come pick you, they will come to your location and pick you and then take you to your destination. Amazing. They will come to wherever you are and take you to what? Your destination. They will take you to your destination. Now, if we look at the next one, let's look at the next one, e-commerce. E-commerce. Please, can you sit here, please? Thank you. We look at the e-commerce. Like I explained earlier on, this is the buying and selling platform. Examples of e-commerce business, we have Amazon. I believe the name is very familiar to us. Amazon. Jumia. Gigi. These are platforms whereby you can sit with your mobile phone. You say, oh, I love this. With your device, you say, I love this. I want to procure this. I want to buy this. I want to do this. Then you purchase this online. You don't need to go to the shop. You don't need to be there physically to purchase whatever you want. That's the benefit of what we are enjoying. So we have giants in this platform, the Amazon, my slide please. The Amazon, the Jumia, Gigi, Konga, and the likes. Now let's look at the next slide, which is the logistics. This is a platform that helps you move your product, your parcel from one state to another, from one country to another, better still, from one point to another. Examples of DHL platforms, we have examples of logistics platform, we have what? DHL. We have Ops. We have God is Good Logistics. We have FedEx. These are examples of logistics company and a whole lot out there. Then if we look at the fifth service we are rendering on the screen, please. Hospitality. Hospitality is not hospital. When we're talking about hospitality, we are talking about what? Hotels. We are talking about what? Hotels. Of course, the hotel business is not new to any one of us. In SWIFTtrip, you have the privilege to own all of these 5 services, ranging from what? Aviation, e-taxi, e-commerce, logistics, and what? Hospitality. Now, I want to ask a question, sir, ma, every one of us that are here today. If you have the opportunity from all of these 5 services that I listed, if you have the opportunity to own, just let's use this that is on the screen, just this, can you compare your finance now to what it would have been? Did you get the question? Can you compare your finance? Okay, let me repeat, let me rephrase. If you are opportune to own the hotel business, a hotel that is as massive as this, you have the opportunity to be a co-owner of this business, or maybe to own it. Can you compare your finance now to what it would have been if you owned rather a business like this? Am I confusing anybody? Can you compare your finance? No, you can't. Why is that? Because your finance must have appreciated. I believe we are aware that there are hotels that a night they pay what? 300,000, 500,000, 1 million as the case may be. Now imagine you are an owner of such a hotel. You're getting this return every day. We have, let me see the screen. We have how many rooms here? This room should be close to 100, if not more than 100. Imagine all of this room being filled up. And you're getting that every day, or let's say, yes, every day. You just can't compare your finance now to what it would have been. Now, in a nutshell, what I'm telling you is that SWIFTtrip is definitely going to change your financial blueprint. It's going to change your financial blueprint. That is why we'll tell you that this business is the next level of innovation that will make you and I trillionaires in dollars. If you're writing, write that down. SWIFTtrip is the next level of innovation that will make you what? A trillionaire in dollars. I'm not saying a billionaire. Please, if you're writing, don't write billionaire. Write trillionaire in dollars. If you own just the hotel business, you're already, if I'm not mistaken, you're already a billionaire. Or if you just want to say, okay, let's just, worst case scenario, you're a millionaire. Now, imagine owning all of those 5 businesses, all of those 5 services. You just can't compare your finance. SWIFTtrip will change your financial blueprint for life. All right, so let's quickly look at the next slide. In the course of this presentation, most of our questions will be answered. Most of our questions will be answered. And the next slide is asking us a question, or a question that you, those of us watching online, or those of us seated here today, would be asking, has SWIFTtrip gone live? What does it mean? It's simply asking, has SWIFTtrip launched business? In case you go out there and people ask you, has this business launched? How come all of these services, has it come to launch business rather? How come I've not seen the, what is it called? The aviation. I've not seen SWIFTtrip airline. I've not seen SWIFTtrip e-taxi. I've not seen SWIFTtrip logistic platform. I've not seen anything. Have you launched business? The answer is on the screen. We said, no, SWIFTtrip has not launched business. Why? Because we are at the development/vision phase. Is it bad to be at the vision phase? I'm asking. No. Do you know that those companies you are seeing today that we are benefiting or patronizing, do you know that there was a time they were at the vision phase? And today what? It's a reality. So if they ask you, are SWIFTtrip launching, simply tell them no. We are at the vision phase. And we are doing what? Soliciting for co-owners. We are soliciting for subscribers, pioneers. People that will see this and what? Follow us and run with it. Fulfilling the scripture that it says in the book of Habakkuk. Write the vision, make it plain. Then those that will see it will do what? Run with it. I believe we are familiar with that scripture. Are we not? Thank you very much. It's not for those that can see what we are telling them with the eyes of their mind. That is why we are looking for like minds. There are persons that will see it and say, no, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. I don't want to be part of it. There are some persons that it's the vision alone is too big for them. And that is why we are saying, mommy, daddy, brother, sister, anywhere you are, so long you are listening to us, online, physically, SWIFTtrip is not a business you should miss. Why? Because we are at the vision phase. This is where the opportunity lies. Do you know that there are people that had the opportunity to be co-owners of companies like Coca-Cola, Uber? They said no. They don't want to be part of it. That is a scam. It's a scam. Coca-Cola is a scam. Yes, they told a man when Coca-Cola was selling their shares for what? $10. They told him, he said, no, it's a scam. They want to scam you of what? $10. Now I'm asking, we keep asking ourselves today, between the man and Coca-Cola, who scammed each other? The answer to that is, it's the man that scammed himself. Is Coca-Cola not in existence? It is. And you and I are benefiting. We have shareholder in this, in SWIFTtrip, that our father missed out on. What is it called? Coca-Cola. How many of us know Kevin Hart? A black, you know him. Do you know that he missed out on being a shareholder in Uber? BuzzV, do you have the video? No. Okay, not on this system. He missed out on being a shareholder in Coca-Cola. We would have played the video for you to watch. And now he's regretting. Now, he's regretting not because he does not have money. Of course, he's an actor. He has money. He's regretting because the opportunity has passed him. No matter how much he has today, he cannot compare it when he becomes a shareholder of of Uber. When they told him, he said, no, that's the stupidest shit he has ever heard. That with a mobile app, someone can, that's his word. I quote him exactly based on his word. That is the stupidest shit he has ever heard of. That with a mobile phone, you can just stay and book a ride. Someone will come pick you. When he can comfortably go to the roadside and stretch his hand and stop a taxi, they take him to wherever he wants to go to. Then, today, he is regretting it. So this business, now that is at the vision phase, there are persons that will castigate it. There are people that will say, no, I'm not interested. But those are not the kind of persons we are looking for. We are looking for what? Like minds. Like I said earlier on, people that can see this with the eyes of their mind. Those are the persons we are looking for. It does not matter if you're a student. It does not matter if you're a butcher, if you're a fishmonger, if you're a market seller, if you're a barrow pusher. It is for everybody that are what? Preparing for their retirement age. That's what most of us fail to do. We fail to prepare for retirement age. Whatever certificate you have today, sir, ma, you cannot pass it on to your children. True or false? You can't pass it on to your children. Are you a doctor? Are you a banker? A time will come, you will no longer have that strength to move from this junction to the next junction. What is that age? It is the retirement age. You will start depending on your children, disturbing them. I need money for this. I need money for that. If you use this time to prepare for that retirement age, you will see that even at that age, you as an old man or as an old woman, you will be the one giving people money. You will be the one buying gifts for people. How prepared are you? How prepared are you? That is a question you should ask yourself today. That is why we say it is for everybody. I was saying the other time here that a student who is sitting for JAMB, or who was sitting for JAMB, that was last month or early this month, called me. She said she wants to be a shareholder in SWIFTtrip, but I should talk to. I said, ma, we don't convince anybody in SWIFTtrip. It is left, you can see, the only thing we can say is for you to see what we are showing to you. If you cannot see it, we cannot help you see it. Then I explained the business to her, and I told her the benefit of being a shareholder in SWIFTtrip. When she saw it, she said she wants to be part of it. The next day, she paid $180. She's not my prospect. Somebody told her about SWIFTtrip. Then she requested for the number of someone that is higher than that person. Then the person gave my number to her. She called me and I explained to her. She said she will register. The next day she paid $180. I don't even know the person. So if a student can be a shareholder in SWIFTtrip, every person can be a shareholder in SWIFTtrip. So much has been said. Let's look at the next slide. I want to quickly look at subscription plan. How can I own all of these 5 services? Please go back. Next slide. Subscription plan. Of all of those 5 services I've made mention of, aviation, e-taxi, e-commerce, logistics, and hospitality. How much can I own all of these services? Let's look at the next slide. It's very simple. Now, let's read together. Let me just read it. Subscriber subscription plan. Profit share slot is what? $180. Subscription fee, $180. Now, I want to break this $180 down. This $180 that is on the screen, that is the amount you will pay for you to own all of those 5 services. Now, we are not saying pay $180 for you to own only aviation. Sir, I want to ask you, if you have the opportunity, you know Airpiece, right? You have the opportunity, someone just call you. Now, what's your name, please? Barrister Bellary. Okay, Bernard. Barrister Bernard. Someone just come to you and said, there is an opportunity for you to own Airpiece, for you to be a co-owner of Airpiece for 1 million naira. For you to be a co-owner of Airpiece for 1 million naira. Yes, to be a shareholder of Airpiece for 1 million naira. Will you accept it? Will you say the money is too much? You will rush it. Good and fine. Just aviation or just one. How much? 1 million naira. You will do what? Rush it. Then, how much more you owning these 5 services, aviation, e-taxi, logistics, e-commerce, and what? Hospitality, that's hotel business, for how much? Less than $500,000. $180 is not up to 500,000 naira. Now, you have the opportunity to own these 5 sophisticated services for a token of $180. Now, let me quickly tell you that this $180, from this $180, $100 is the actual project fee. This $100 is the project fee. Remember, we've not launched business. Now, the $80 that is at the top of it is what? Campaign sponsorship fund. The pigeon slide will tell us it's advertisement fund. The pigeon slide will show us that as advertisement fund. So, it means the same thing. This $80 is what will be used for advertisement. Advertisement. For you to campaign about SWIFT, for you to talk to people about SWIFT, because for every person you tell about SWIFTtrip, you earn. You earn what? Advert bonus. You earn campaign bonus. Now, let's look at it. Mr. A paid $180 to be a shareholder of SWIFTtrip. What is he getting in exchange of this $180? Because you have this, it's like you're paying $180 to get something, right? Now, what is he getting in return? He's getting this. SWIFTtrip ownership 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. It's getting interesting now. Please listen. I paid $180 to the company, and the company said, okay, you've been recognized as a shareholder of this business. Now, take 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. That is your ownership percentage. What does that mean? Simply means from every transaction that happens globally, you are earning what? According to your ownership percentage. If a trip costs 10,000 naira, as a shareholder, you want to, if you will benefit, you will benefit definitely. You are earning what? 0.0 in 5 places, 125% of 10,000 naira. And this is applicable to all of our services. Those 5 services I showed you, that's not all. There are many more services that will come in the nearest future. Before now, it used to be 4 services. Aviation, e-taxi, logistics, and e-commerce. There was no hospitality. It was added recently. And like I said, more services will come in the future. So please take note of this, because we'll use this a whole lot. 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. So this is where we'll ask a question. So I'll be sure we are following up. If you register or you subscribe with $180 in SWIFTtrip, what will be your ownership percentage, sir? I'll come again. As a shareholder of SWIFTtrip, you paid $180. What will be your ownership percentage? 125%. Yes, that is what you will get. That's what you get as an owner of SWIFTtrip. And it does not change, irrespective of how much the slot costs. Like I was telling one of the marketers that came today, earlier on, this thing you're seeing selling at the rate of $180, do you know it was once sold for 5,000 naira? 2023. It was sold for 5,000 naira. Don't think we just started this business maybe this year. We've been here since 2021. Since 2021. Now, this $180 was once sold for, this year was once sold for what? 5,000 naira. From there, people said, no, it is, how will you tell me that for 5,000 naira I will become an owner of an airport and the rest of those services? It does not make sense. I went as far as going to campaign about SWIFTtrip in my youth platform. And one thing a lady said is, when I don't come again, no. Yesterday, as I did, she sold one of 4,000 naira. And today, I'm coming with one of 5,000 naira. And my own does not even make sense because I'm telling them, with 5,000, you own all of those services. I ignored her. After I'm done with the presentation, nobody showed interest. And it was that 2023 we invited Brain Jota and MC Bakra for our end of the year event. That was 2023. Good 18, the youth president was at the airport that day when we went to pick Bakra and Brain Jota. When he saw me, he shouted. He said, so this thing this boy was telling me is making sense or is true. He greeted me. I told him that I'm going to pick one of our guests for our event. So, do you know that the next time that man saw me in church, the man told them to go get my number, that thing that guy told us that day, it's real. Now, people might not understand what you are showing or what you're sharing with them. But do you know what will make you stand out? Consistency. Once you are doing it, once you're consistent with what you are doing, you will see them running all over you. From 5,000, it increased to 10,000. To some persons, it doesn't make sense. 10,000, 15,000, 22,500 or 25,500. Then it started increasing by 500 naira every 3 days. When it gets to 80,000 naira, so many people say they will register from 80,000 naira. It went straight to $180. And guess what? This $180 that you're seeing, that some persons will be saying is very expensive now. Do you know that by the time we'll launch this business, you can write this down, by the time we'll launch this business, this will be sold for at least 200 million naira. 200 million. When we told them it will be selling at 80,000, they did not believe. And there are certain things that will be in place now. We've started announcing already that it will increase to, by the time those things are already in place, it will increase to $250. $250. So this is an opportunity. Even when it increased to $250, it's still very cheap. Looking at the services that are available for you and I. Right? Is it not cheap? It is. Is it not cheap, sirs? It's cheap. All right, now let's look at the next slide. Go back, please. Okay, I'm done with this. Let's look at the next slide. When will this business launch? When are we going to launch this business? You can see. Every question you want to ask is already on the slide. We are very transparent. That is why we keep telling everyone out there, don't go and say what we did not say. Tell them how it is. Whomever that love it will definitely flow with us, will join us. And whomever that doesn't love it, they will find their way. Just like the term goes, like terms attract and unlike terms do what? Repel. So let's quickly look at the next slide. Yes. SWIFTtrip profit share is 5% in volume. 5% in volume. Now, what does it mean? It simply means the company has 5% shares that is available. 5% share that is available. And we said the launch of SWIFTtrip, of this business, is at the sales of what? 3% shares volume. 3% shares volume. Now, 3% share volume. Then we say, thus, the launch of SWIFTtrip is embedded in the milestone of 2,400,000 subscribers. Now, let me do this now. We have 5% shares. 5% is available. That's what the company wants to sell. And we are saying that from this 5%, if you are able to sell 3% of the shares, we will launch business. That is what it simply means. And what is it called? Sorry for that. If you are able to sell 3% of the shares, we will launch business. Now, how is that? We went as far as telling you that the launch of business is embedded in the milestone of 2.4 million subscribers. How? Next slide. Let's look at that. How many, I want to remind us again, how many percent do we need to sell to launch this business? 3%. Thank you very much. Now, since you are selling 3%, we say, what's your ownership in SWIFTtrip again? 0.0 in 5 places, 125%, right? 0.0 in 5 places, 125. 0.12345, 125%. This is your ownership percentage. Now, since this is your ownership percentage, and we have to sell how many percent to launch business? 3%. We simply do 3 divided by 0.0 in 5 places, 125. Don't add percentage. If you add percentage, you will get a different figure. 3 divided by 0.0 in 5 places, 125. If you do that, what you will get is 2,400,000 node units. Can you remove the video? Can you remove that so that they can read this? Now, we say 1 subscribers to 1 unit. 1 subscriber to what? 1 unit. I will explain this better now. Now, let's look at this. If we bring 2,400,000 persons here now, and we say from all of these 2,400,000 persons, you just give each one this unit, 0.0 in 5 places, 125. You take this unit, take this unit. If we sum all of those together, it will give us what? 3%. Now, it simply means 2.4 million persons need to consume 3%. If 2.4 million persons consume 3%, it will give us what? 0.0 in 5 places, 125. Is it clear? Thank you very much. And 1 person to 1 unit, like I said, 1 person cannot own more than 1. No matter how much you have, if Tinubu is to come today, if Simfubara is to come today and says he wants to buy 10 units, he can't. 1 man to 1 unit. But if he says he wants to buy for himself and his family, whereby each of them own 1 unit, it's much permitted. I cannot say I have 1 million naira now. I want to buy 4 slots for myself. Only me. No. Just 1 unit is what I need. 1 unit is what I need. If I have that kind of money, what will I do? Buy for my sisters, buy for my brothers, buy for my parents, buy for my loved ones. 1 man to 1 unit. So I believe that is clear enough. Next slide. All right, so knowing that this is a global business, we say initial launch of business before scaling globally is in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom. This will be our very first 2 countries of launch. How lucky are we that we are part of a global business like this? So we're launching in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom. We don't want a situation whereby someone will go ask, where was SWIFTtrip launch? You will not say Nigeria, an underdeveloped country. When you go browse, where was SWIFTtrip launch? You will see in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom. Because even if you say we'll launch in Nigeria today and maybe in the nearest future, we will then go launch in UK. Google can never erase that. It will be there for life, that it was first launched in Nigeria before it was launched in the United Kingdom. So we'll be launching in these 2 countries simultaneously, okay? So that is that. And let's look at the next slide. Thank you. So these are certificates of incorporation. Now here is the CAC certificate. You can see the company's registration number. You can get this on our Telegram platform. This is the CAC, this is the EFCC certificate. Then this is the United Kingdom certificate. This is the United Kingdom certificate. If you read that closely, you will see certificate of incorporation in a private limited company. That's the company's number. Then you read we've been registered in England and Wales. Okay? So you can see that, like I said, you can get this on our Telegram platform. So let's look at the next slide. Do you know that there was a time people were saying this business cannot be registered in United Kingdom? People were saying it cannot be launched, it cannot be registered in United Kingdom. We just laughed. Today, is it not registered? It is. If you go there now, you see it. If you go to the United Kingdom and search for the number, you will see it there, registered. So, all right, let's look at the next slide. Now, this is very important. What makes SWIFTtrip stand out from others? What makes SWIFTtrip stand out from every other platform out there? Now, if you look at it, the services we are rendering, are they new? They are not new, right? They are not new. So, what is that thing that will make Mr. A want to patronize us and not patronize the same company that is rendering that service? That is what we want to look at now, because we know that once we launch this bill, we don't want to come out there to compete. We can't compete with those giants out there. No. If we do that, do you know that there are companies that have launched business, the same e-hailing business, and they are no more? Why? Because they came to compete with these giants, people that are already in the business before them. We are so much aware of that. That is why we are building our customer base now that we've not even launched business. We're looking for what? 2.4 million persons. Now, it tells you that by the time we'll launch business today, if we launch business today, we have what? 2.4 million persons that are ready to patronize the company. True of us. As a shareholder of SWIFTtrip, won't you love to patronize the company once we launch business? Definitely. Because it's your own. And that's not all. Let's look at the next slide. We are introducing the PYC. Before now, what you and I are familiar with is what? KYC. Know your customer, right? But SWIFTtrip is the first company globally to introduce what? The PYC. This is our selling point. What does PYC stand for? Pay your customers. It's on the screen. Pay your customers. We are the first company globally to put our customers on what? Payroll. That anytime they patronize us, they earn from that patronage. It has never happened before. Now, this earning is not bonus. We mean money that you can withdraw to purchase whatever you want to purchase or spend it whenever or however you like. Now, let me illustrate something quickly for us. Sir, let's assume, I know it's not your first time. Okay, no, let me use that since it's his first time. Let's assume you want to go to Lagos, from Port Harcourt to Lagos, and you boarded, let's use for instance, Peace Mass from here to Lagos, and they charged you 40,000 naira. You paid. And they took you to Lagos successfully. And after your arrival, they then send you a message. Thank you very much. They even called your name. What's the name, sir? Okay. Sorry? Leonard. Okay. They then say, thank you very much, Mr. Leonard, for patronizing us. Hope to see you next time. And you're so happy. Wow, these people even called me by name and appreciated me for patronizing them. You feel happy, right? Good and fine. Now, you then vow to yourself that in your next, maybe after your activity, after you're done with your activity there in Lagos, you're coming back, you will still patronize them because of that care they've given to you. Now, you're coming back. Let's assume you got there late and there was no peace mask, not APC. There was no peace mask for you to board back to, for you to take back to Port Harcourt. You then decide to use another. You are so pained. Oh no, oh no, oh no. You then decide to use another company. And that company, you paid the same 40,000 naira. They gave you the same comfortable ride that Peace Mask gave to you, and you alighted at, they dropped you at Port Harcourt. They did not tell you thank you. But you notice that you got paid for patronizing them. Like you earned money from patronizing them. But they did not tell you thank you for patronizing us, but you just earned from that patronage. I want to ask, which one would you want to go? Is it the one that said thank you for patronizing us, or the one that did not say thank you but paid you for patronizing them? Good. That is the word, the PYC we are talking about. Pay your customers. See, we've come to understand that this era that we are now, knowing these customers is not enough. It is time for these customers to be put on payroll. That whenever they patronize us, they earn. That is why we are saying today, any business owner that refuses to put their customers on payroll, they will fizzle out in less than no time. Or they will lose their customers to customers that are paying, to companies rather, that are paying their customers. It's as simple as that. So let's look at how that will work. From that analysis I gave, we are paying our customers. We want to illustrate this now. We want to analyze this. That a transaction happened in Nigeria, for instance. And this transaction that happened in Nigeria cost, let's use 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira. And we know that trip is very flexible, right? Depending on the distance. The same amount you paid from here to LMS Junction is not the same thing you pay from here to Elios. True of us. That's trip being very flexible. So we are just, in this case, we are using 10,000 naira. Now, this, let's look at the next slide. In SWIFTtrip, we consider our passengers as profit generators. They are profit generators. Because in a real sense, they are the one generating profit for us. Without the customers, you will make nothing. So the customers are a profit generator. Now, that 10,000 naira that was paid, the company consider it as what? 100%. This part is very important. If you understand this part, you've gotten everything. So let's just pay attention to this part. Now, whatever amount is paid, the company considers it as 100%. That's why you're seeing this green arrow. Now, that passenger who booked that ride, the passenger who booked that ride, 2% of this 10,000 that was paid goes to the passenger who booked that ride. That is what? The PYC we are talking about. 2%. Remember I told you that this money is something you can withdraw, spend.